Dead meme.
Hey guys, we're back to play some more Valheim, and as you can see we've built a little dock here, and I've got a ship. I'm going to just show you the ships of the game, how they function, and the methods you need to build them. I'll show you this little dock that I've got here, like why I've done this, especially if you are exploring more dangerous biomes, such as the plains. You want to protect these ships, which are very costly. So I'm going to start with the ships, and we'll skip ahead to that. So in debug mode, you can fly around, and it gives me the opportunity to show you these ships, right? So we're just going to briefly discuss the ships, and then I'm going to get into how to operate them and whatnot. So this is the raft. It's a Stone Age vessel, you could call it. You can make this with no metals, so there is a drawback. No storage, and it's exceptionally slow and very cumbersome. This is the carve. You can make it after defeating Eikthyr or Ikthyr. I'm not sure, whatever you guys want to call him. He is the deer boss. He allows you to mine metals with the key item he drops. So you'll need some bronze nails and then a whole bunch of leather and wood and things like that. It's a very simple recipe. You'll need to make a bronze axe to cut down some nice birch trees too. Now this guy is a little bit more interesting. He's the Viking longship. It requires iron to make, so you won't be getting this until you've at least visited the swamp. And of course the other materials such as the ancient bark and things like that also come from the swamp. So this is the most advanced ship you're going to get. And like the carve, there is storage on it. It is half decent. And the carve storage is here. As you can see, there's a significant difference. So let's get into operating the ships. They all have a rudder. You just go back there, you push E, and the HUD kind of gives you a new little display. As you can see, the ship has a reticule on the right side there with the direction of the wind. So if I were to drop my sails right now, I can't move. Like I won't have any forward inertia, and I drop sails by double tap or triple tapping forward. But if I reduce it to 1, you go into paddle mode. So this is the only way to really move if the wind's against you without having some special powers from the bosses that allow you to control the wind. But pushing forward again drops a sail. Pushing it twice will give you full sail. There is the amount of wind you're catching does impact the rate in which the ship will travel. And of course, by using left and right, we can alter the direction of the rudder, which will change the course or the direction the ship is facing or moving toward. So like this, there's no outside, no left or right, but if we go right versus left, you can see. If you walk around while the sails are down, the ship will continue to move, but not in paddle mode. If you fall off your ship, all of them halt inertia, as long as all the players are not on it. They also have ladders. You should keep that in mind if you do decide to jump off your ship, what direction the ladder is. So we've got the carve. It's significantly quicker. The maneuverability is a lot better as well. And as soon as we'll catch some wind, we'll start traveling around. So you can damage your ship. No big deal. You can fix it with just simply a workbench and the repair function on the hammer. I'll show it to you just in case you don't know. But as you can see, when we're out on the open ocean here, this ship is a lot quicker. And he will be able to escape the threats that are out here. Because the ocean may seem empty, but it's not. There are 2 mobs or creatures that you'll find out here that aren't fish. There's a sea serpent and like a giant living island. I guess it's like a kraken or maybe it's a giant sea turtle. I'm not totally sure. But you won't be able to outrun the sea serpent on the raft, and the raft will provide you no protection from the sea serpent. It's tough to get away. So as long as when you see the serpent, you turn into the wind, you'll be okay. Alright, so we've got a sea serpent spawned in. And this is kind of like your worst case scenario. You're caught off guard, your sails are down, and you're looking in the wrong direction. But the wind is giving me favor. And this guy, he won't be able to catch the ship. Like, even with, like, half-mast and just too quick. And eventually these things give up. So, nothing too exciting. But if you're on that raft, you will not escape that sea serpent. So again, with the raft, you are unlikely to escape a sea serpent. So this is kind of like your worst case scenario. Now, that would be your worst case scenario. But this will demonstrate that even with full wind, I'm not going to be able to get away from this thing. Let's see how much damage that did. About a fifth of the ship's health. And you're vulnerable to attack from the serpent itself. So as you can see, the raft, I wouldn't use it unless you absolutely have to. It creates a very bad position to be in. And of course, the good old longship, kind of like a, what would you call it? It's almost like iconic, this shape of vessel and whatnot. Kind of a very Viking themed. Yeah, the carve is as well. But as you can see, its maneuverability and speed, they can't be matched. The other ships have nothing on this guy. The only real challenge is maneuvering into small rivers and whatnot. Due to its length, makes it a little bit more difficult. And I find too, in some areas, like if I were to go here and try to cross this, I feel it's easy to run aground. And it's not the end of the world, but, you know, if you run around in the plains biome and you're wearing iron armor, things are about to go bad. So let's even give the sea serpent a chance. Let's go to half speed. And see if you can catch us. Yeah, so we're not even turned into the wind. When we have half sails, you can't catch us. So it's the same with the carve. If you got a carve, you're in good shape. So one issue that has happened with us particularly, sometimes raids come, even in your meadows space, and it will they'll ruin your ships. The metal components sink to the bottom, you may not be able to get them back. Or rough seas show up and your ship gets beached. And that's a bit of a nuisance to deal with. So a common strategy that I've used playing with the friends and the crew is we've basically put up a little palisade looking wall here with a door on it. And this will prevent the majority of creatures reaching your ship and doing damage. Now, of course, you should cover it the whole way in order to prevent the damage caused by rain. And you can put little ladders on the side to try and help you get out, but half the time they do not work. So, you can probably notice we have strong stability, even though we're really far away from the beach. And we've accomplished that by just all those useless stones you get from mining, especially copper and tin, or copper particularly. Just take the hoe out. And we go to the increase height mode. And you can just kind of make like a little trail, and then you can go to flatten mode. And then you can build on top of this. So, we used core wood. And we just kind of built little frames the whole way out. But I'll just go over there and show it to you. Alright, so the free fly camera is active. You can do this in debug mode. We've just raised the land up just below like where we want to basically create the dock. And so because we've created this platform, all of this is structurally sound. And with this here, it's easier to jump on and off the ship, even when the tide seems to be a bit lower sometimes. So I spawned in a few furlings, the bane of most people's existence for quite a while. And as you can see, even with this dock setup, these guys are having a hard time getting up here and damaging and destroying things. The only thing you'd really have to worry about are a few ranged attackers. And you could probably just build some taller walls to counter them. But this will make your ship a little bit safer in within the plains biome, or even potentially the dark wood, to give you some sort of minimum protection from trolls and whatnot. So that was my video on ships, and even a little dock or harbor. I'm sure people out there will create something significantly prettier and better than what I do. And the goblins can give your ship a little push. So if this is helpful, you know, you want to throw a like or sub at me, that'd be cool. If you think there's something else I should have covered, or if you just have a better plan or a better methodology for these docks and things, just throw it in there. This idea is mostly like a minimalist kind of build where you don't need to put too much energy in but still have high functionality. But thanks for showing up, and I'll see you all again real soon.